Part 1, The Quantum Collision. The portal opens. The laboratory was silent except for the hum of the quantum stabilizer, its core glowing with an eerie blue light. Dr. Lyra, a crystalline being from the advanced alien race known as the Shard, adjusted the final settings on the device. Her translucent form shimmered with anticipation as she prepared to test her latest theory. For centuries, her people had studied quantum physics, but no one had ever attempted to create a stable interdimensional portal. As the stabilizer reached peak energy, the air around Lyra crackled with electricity. She stepped back, her crystalline body refracting the light into 1,000 rainbows. The machine roared to life, and before her eyes, a swirling vortex of colors appeared. It was beautiful, terrifying, and utterly unpredictable. A human encounter. On the other side of the portal, Commander Jackson Steele was overseeing a routine military exercise. The sudden appearance of the vortex sent his team into a frenzy. "What the hell is that?" he barked, his sharp eyes narrowing as he approached the phenomenon. Before anyone could stop him, Jackson stepped through the portal, driven by a mix of curiosity and duty. The two figures collided in a burst of light. Lyra's crystalline form shimmered with surprise as she found herself face to face with a human. Jackson, equally stunned, reached for his weapon but hesitated. There was something about the alien's presence, something calm and intelligent, that made him lower his guard. A shared discovery. Over the next few hours, Lyra and Jackson worked together to stabilize the portal. Despite their differences, they found common ground in their shared passion for science and exploration. Lyra explained her people's advanced understanding of quantum physics, while Jackson shared humanity's rapid technological progress. As they worked, a strange energy began to form between them. Lyra's crystalline structure resonated with Jackson's human aura, creating a bond neither of them could explain. It was as if their very beings were drawn to each other, defying the laws of physics and biology. The first spark. When the portal finally stabilized, Lyra knew she had to return to her dimension. But the thought of leaving Jackson filled her with an unfamiliar ache. "This is just the beginning," she said, her voice like the chime of distant stars. "Our worlds have so much to learn from each other." Jackson nodded, his rugged features softening. "I'll find a way to see you again," he promised. As Lyra stepped back through the portal, their eyes met one last time, and in that moment, they both knew their lives would never be the same. The ripple effect. Back in her own dimension, Lyra couldn't shake the memory of Jackson's face. Her people had always viewed humans as primitive and dangerous, but Jackson had shown her a different side of humanity, one filled with courage, curiosity, and compassion. Meanwhile, Jackson reported the incident to his superiors, but he kept the details of Lyra's existence a secret. He knew that if the wrong people found out, it could mean disaster for both their worlds. As days turned into weeks, Lyra and Jackson found themselves thinking of each other more and more. They began communicating through the portal, sharing ideas and dreams. It wasn't long before their connection deepened into something neither of them had expected: love. A miracle in the making. One day, Lyra noticed something strange. Her crystalline form was shifting in ways she had never experienced before. At first, she thought it was a side effect of her experiments, but when she consulted her medical scans, the truth became clear. She was pregnant. The news sent shockwaves through her entire being. Cross-species reproduction was unheard of, yet here she was, carrying a child that was both human and crystalline. As she stared at the scans, a mix of fear and wonder filled her. This child was a miracle, a living symbol of the bond between their species. But Lyra knew that not everyone would see it that way. As she prepared to tell Jackson the news, she couldn't shake the feeling that their greatest challenge was just beginning. Part 2, The Forbidden Bond. Heading: Love Beyond Boundaries. As days turned into weeks, Evelyn and Lyra continued their research in secret. The more time they spent together, the stronger their bond grew. Evelyn found herself drawn to Lyra's wisdom and grace, while Lyra was fascinated by Evelyn's creativity and determination. Their collaboration led to groundbreaking discoveries, but it also brought them closer in ways neither had anticipated. One evening, as they worked late into the night, Lyra's form flickered, revealing hints of her crystalline nature. "Evelyn," she said softly, "I have been experiencing something unfamiliar. My crystalline structure resonates at a higher frequency when I am with you. I believe what I am feeling is what humans call attraction." Evelyn's heart skipped a beat. She had felt the same pull towards Lyra but had been hesitant to acknowledge it. "Lyra," she replied, "what we have is more than just a scientific collaboration. It's something wonderful. Something that could change everything." Their moment was interrupted by a message from the crystal cluster. Lyra's people were growing suspicious of her extended absence and demanded her return. The thought of being separated was unbearable for both of them. Evelyn knew they had to find a way to bridge the gap between their worlds, not just for their love but for the future of both species. Part 3, The Council's Judgment. Heading, A Union Under Scrutiny. Evelyn and Lyra decided to present their case to the Crystal Council, the governing body of the Crystal Cluster. They hoped to gain their approval and pave the way for a future where humans and crystalline beings could coexist and collaborate. However, the council was divided. Some saw the potential for a new era of understanding, while others feared the consequences of such a union. The council chamber was a breathtaking sight, with towering crystalline beings refracting light in dazzling patterns. Evelyn stood beside Lyra, her heart pounding as they faced the council. "This union is unprecedented," the council leader, First Facet, declared. "Our societies are at very different stages of development. Some fear humanity's aggressive tendencies and capacity for destruction." Lyra stepped forward, her form glowing with determination. "Evelyn is not just any human. Her understanding of quantum mechanics rivals our own. Our connection transcends mere physical forms. Love finds a way." Evelyn presented her latest invention, a device that allowed her to temporarily take on a crystalline form. The council was impressed but remained cautious. As they deliberated, alarms blared throughout the Crystal City. Human military vessels had entered their dimension, drawn by the energy signatures of Evelyn's experiments. Chaos erupted as the council scrambled to respond. Lyra, in a moment of bravery, expanded her form and broadcast a message of peace. Her song, a harmony of crystalline tones and human melodies, resonated through the city and the ships. The aggressive vessels powered down, their crews transfixed by the beauty of the music. The council, witnessing this unprecedented display of unity, began to reconsider their stance. "Perhaps we have underestimated humanity's capacity for beauty and harmony," First Facet admitted. "This union, unlikely as it seems, may be exactly what both our peoples need." Part 4, The Miracle Within. Heading, A New Life Begins. With the council's tentative approval, Evelyn and Lyra returned to their research, now with the added responsibility of fostering understanding between their species. However, their greatest challenge and miracle was already growing within Lyra. Subtle shifts in her crystalline matrix and unusual quantum fluctuations hinted at something extraordinary. "Evelyn," Lyra said one evening, her form shimmering with emotion, "I believe I am carrying a new life. Our quantum resonance experiments must have done more than we thought. I am carrying what appears to be a hybrid life form." Evelyn's mind raced with the implications. A child that was both human and crystalline, a living bridge between their worlds. But not everyone saw this as a miracle. Extremists from both species, fearing the unknown, launched attacks on their lab, determined to prevent the birth of the hybrid child. In a desperate bid to protect their unborn child, Evelyn and Lyra stood together, ready to defend the life they had created. As the extremists breached their defenses, Lyra's form blazed with protective fury, and the child within her matrix pulsed in response. A wave of crystalline energy froze everyone in place, and a new sound filled the lab, a harmony of crystalline chimes and human heartbeats. The child's song, a perfect blend of both species, washed over the attackers, opening their minds and hearts to new possibilities. The extremists, once filled with fear and hatred, now saw the beauty and potential of the hybrid child. The crisis averted, Evelyn and Lyra prepared for the birth of their daughter, a symbol of hope and unity for both their worlds.